for your great work, your great words. Speaker, again, thank you for being here today and for being here all along with us. And thank you to all of you. It is amazing to me where we are today. We talked about this picture that is so alarming just to look at. But I remember being here the day after and seeing cars that were overturned by the wind that was created from this fire. A motorcycle and a car in the middle of this park. I have a picture of a metal garage door that's 30 feet up in the air, stuck in a tree at the other end of this park. You have built back better. We have built back better. And my hat is off to all of you for everything that you've been through and everything that you've done. So thank you. Congratulations. I'd like to ask the press if they have any questions on. Hold on.
And thanking all of you for what you have done. We're talking about tens of billions of dollars here, $7 billion there. I want you to know that this is all paid for by making sure the wealthiest and corporate America pay their fair share. You hear those numbers and you wonder, no, it's paid for. And I also want to say, in everything that we do, and this is nothing like this. As I was just saying that when we came, well, not just that day, but on other occasions, just to see how things were. It looked like a nuclear attack. It really was such total devastation. It was hard to comprehend. So to see you take the path because of your mobilization, your collaboration with each other, from survival to success to transformation, just a path that is so excellent. And again, congratulations to you, and thank you for being a model to the nation. I hope the press questions will be on this subject that we came to talk about today.
When I hear those numbers, Madam Speaker, I think about something that President Clinton said. And I know we all had critics talk about spending all this money, but it was President Clinton who pointed out that anyone who says you can't solve the problem by throwing money at it is talking about somebody else's problem. You know how important that funding was. When the disaster relief came from the federal government to help our city, our county, our state, and all the people affected, you know how important that money was, and you know how important this funding is going to be to ensure that we don't have to relive this in the future.
No.
Press?
Not me.
Yes, sir.
Ariel,
You have to speak up.
Ariel with the record being Lake County. The national press and NBC News just last week talked about the Build Back Better agenda and the fact that it's been shelved and pushed onto like maybe the spring or March. So what are the likelihood or the chances that that this legislation will actually move forward and not be sort of pushed or forgotten about as so many others have in the past?
Well, I'm confident that it's going to pass. When that happens, we're negotiating it now, working on it now. There's been some changes made that make it more acceptable to those who have concerns, and I think the bill will pass. And if you have anything to add to that, it's an important piece of legislation. It's a large piece of legislation, and it takes time to work it through the system. There's a math problem that's associated with Build Back Better, and that is we do not have a majority in the U.S. Senate. It's a 50-50 tie, and it makes it tougher to get tough bills passed.
I thank you for your question. Yesterday, the president made a statement that was very important. I refer you to it. He said that we are working on the legislation. We never stop. Although I would hope that we could have it by Christmas, hopefully we'll have an agreement very soon. And the president referenced what it takes after that. CBO, Congressional Budget Office, Legislative Council, all the things that go into making sure that the language is a correct reflection of the purpose, and that has clarity so that the money can get out there sooner. But since I mentioned the word money, I want to say this to our local officials here. This is Build Back Better, the bipartisan infrastructure, a part of the vision of President Biden. We started with the rescue package. Can't ignore that COVID is with us. And started with that, and because of Mike Thompson, Jared Huffman, and some of us here, we insisted that money go directly to the localities, not just to the state to distribute. Although it was important for the state to get its resources, that we recognize as municipalities and counties and the responsibilities that they have. So we, in that bill, put money in people's pockets, shots in their arms, try to get children safely back in school, and again, people back to work. But in doing so, a real recognition that education, transportation, safety issues, first responders are largely provided by the state and local governments. And so I thank you all for the leadership that you provided and helped us to get those provisions in the legislation, not just to the states, as important as that is, but also to our state and local government. So again, it makes a difference. There was revenue lost because of COVID, and there were expenses incurred because of COVID, and we wanted to be sure that the recognition for state and local government was in the rescue package as well.
Speaker Jeffrey Schaub, CBS Radio, just briefly, as you know, within the Beltway, they're referring to him as President Mansion, and I wonder, from your perspective, whether this senator is holding up this legislation, if it's appropriate for him to do that, and if he's hurting the party as well.
Well, let me just say I wouldn't place too much credence on any gotcha statements coming out of the Beltway. And that's what they do for a living. But the president is the president of the United States. He is so strong, so his vision is so about the people. It's about the people. It all springs from what is it that people care about across their kitchen tables. Are they going to be able to pay their bills, afford their health care costs, afford the education of their children, paying the rent, the mortgage, whatever happens to be. And that is what he springs from. And in addition to that, again, he has a vision about fairness in our country so that people can reach their success and transformative in addition to just surviving. He is knowledgeable about legislation. He's been a senator for decades and a vice president of the United States. So he has a vision, he has knowledge, he has judgment, he has strategic thinking about how to pass legislation, and he is the president of the United States. And we are very respectful of all of our members. They all represent their districts, and that's a good thing. But we all have a national responsibility as well, and I have confidence that Joe Manchin will understand. We will find the agreement that is there to be made. But make no mistake, Joe Biden's in charge.